Welcome back to CryptosRus. I'm George. We're all George. Today we got more goodness to talk about when it comes to Bitcoin and crypto. Some huge buy signals and some people that you would not expect to be turning bullish on Bitcoin. Who doesn't love Jim Cramer? Jim Cramer has caught the Bitcoin bug. Okay, let's listen to this clip.
MicroStrategy. Okay, look, I say if you want to own Bitcoin. I own Bitcoin. You should own Bitcoin. Bitcoin's a great thing to have in your portfolio, but not MicroStrategy. Just own the Bitcoin. That's enough.
Wow. Own Bitcoin. Jim Cramer's completely 100% in now, right? Before, he would still be wishy-washy. Before, he would, he would say it's a fad or it's going to go a lot lower. It's going to do this and that. Now it's like, no, just buy it. Buy Bitcoin. I have Bitcoin. Go buy Bitcoin. Buy Bitcoin. Cramer caught the bug. So that's good. That's good. I don't care what anyone says about inverse Cramer. In this case, he is right. And I'm glad that he has finally come to light. I mean, because years ago, since 2017, he's been educated on Bitcoin, just didn't believe. But now it seems like he finally believes, especially, again, you just have to read the room with everything that's going to happen in the U.S. You can not be, pro Bitcoin. Otherwise, you're going to be left behind. Arizona, the first state in the U.S. that have approved putting Bitcoin into their reserve. Up to 10% of their public funds will be allowed to be invested in Bitcoin. The very first state, we talked about how there's like 13, 14 states that are trying to do this. Arizona is the first. It's done. It's a done deal, right? I'm sure other states are going to follow soon. Again, one of those things about why it's going to be great this year. There's only so much Bitcoin, guys. It's not like it's unlimited Bitcoin. It's not like anything else out there where you could just magically find more or make more or print more. There is only a set supply, and vast majority of it is already being held. But this is the start. We're going to get other states, and then we're going to get a nation to do it, and then we're going to get other nations to do it, and then that's when you'll really feel the supply shock, right? Metaplanet also is going to contribute to that supply shock. They plan on raising $700 million to buy Bitcoin. They have this new strategy going to 2026. They plan on upping their holding from 1762 all the way up to 21,000 Bitcoin. So guess where they caught the bug from? I guess, they thought that they're going a little too slow. They see the writing on the wall too. And they also been studying Saylor, and they're seeing how crazy he is going at leveraging MicroStrategy and buying as many Bitcoin as he can. So Metaplanet from Japan, they were labeled the MicroStrategy of Japan, but in a much smaller way because they don't buy nearly as much at a time. But they will be, who knows what Bitcoin's price will be in 2026. To have 21,000 Bitcoin is a lot. Billions by then. Right? So everyone is moving forward in a big way. And speaking of Saylor, we all know that he just bought over $1 billion more, right? Here's his reasoning why the U.S. should not buy just 5%, because that's what's stated. Cynthia Loomis and Trump, they said they want to buy up to 5% of Bitcoin. Saylor says, hey, screw that. Just buy 20, and you basically get it for free. And here's his reasoning.
Bitcoin is capital. Bitcoin is not currency. Gold has been used as capital. It's not currency anymore. The very simple thing that the U.S. ought to do is they ought to sell the gold and buy Bitcoin with it and buy 20% of the Bitcoin network. It's very simple. Just swap the gold for Bitcoin. If anybody actually swaps out their treasury bills for Bitcoin, then the U.S. is going to own it all. It's kind of like just getting Alaska or the Louisiana Purchase for free. They could pretty much have 20% of the network for free overnight just with a swap. They could even print the money. I mean, they could buy it for next to nothing. The only alternative to the treasury bill for anybody is Bitcoin. And so just do that, and Bitcoin becomes the world reserve capital network, and the U.S. will own both sides of the equation. They'll own the currency and the capital. Bitcoin is...
So, to sum it up, basically, dump all the gold and use that money to buy Bitcoin. Here's the thing. It sounds great. It sounds great that the U.S. government buys 20% of the supply. Because while they're trying to do that, the price of Bitcoin will skyrocket astronomically. Each Bitcoin will probably be well over $1 million each if that was to happen. But here's the thing. Do we really all of a sudden now trust the U.S. government? The whole point of Bitcoin was distrust in governments, distrust in banks. So do we really want the Treasury, to hold 20% of all Bitcoin? I think the answer is no. Yes, we would love to see someone come in and try and raise the price by a hundredfold or a thousandfold, but man, we don't want the U.S. government to control 20% of Bitcoin. We want the people to be holding Bitcoin and getting rich off of it, not really like big countries. But I get it. It's hard to not be caught up in this, I guess, new administration, new regime, because everyone is so pro on Trump and what he's going to do for crypto in the U.S. And we're all cheerleading, right? And we would love to see this nation do better. But still, long run, you don't know who's at the helm, and do you really want the U.S. to be holding 20%? I don't know. I think that may not be as good as people think long term. Anyways, last thing about Bitcoin is this. We are right now, if you look at the black line, that's our current cycle. And the blue line is the one from 2017. You could see that we are mimicking that last cycle from 2017 almost perfectly. Right? So, bottom line, look at when that 2017 cycle really started moving, and look at when it ended. If we're following that, you guys better get ready and strap on, because we are about to go parabolic.